People see international students, especially over here, and they see dollar signs. All the money don't go back into the school. People are corrupt. Not talk over here, don't come for me. This the one. Hi guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shawna. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So today we're up very close and personal because there's something that I want to talk to you guys about that I think it's really important that it just be known. So the other day I was having a conversation with my mom. I was basically venting about all sorts of stuff that's been going on that I've been experiencing as of late. Like, it's been a rough couple of months, to be honest, for me over here in this country. And while venting to my mother and telling her she doesn't know half of the stuff that we go through, that she, you know, when parents are always like, oh, well, I had to walk how much miles to school without shoes on my feet. Okay, but like, I mean, like, sexually assaulted by a random stranger on a bus though. So like, kind of like same struggles, no? Okay, no. But basically, I was venting about a lot of stuff, not even just like that. And by the end of it, and me basically cussing, she was like, so you're a fraud. And I was like, what? So basically, she says that I'm a fraud because I have this blog. That's you guys. You guys, y'all are my blog that I have, not my channel. I have a blog where I encourage people to come study in Cuba, and I let them know how it is and all of that jazz, and basically present this facade of what life over here is and how it's all fun and it's beneficial and all of these different things. And I just want to set the record straight right now. I was like, that is not what I do. You've clearly never seen my videos. But y'all have seen the title of this video. I don't even know how to like really get into it to even try and get some semblance of like what it actually is. But first of all, my videos are for people who have decided that they want to come and study over here by themselves, of their own consent, and or have expressed interest and would like some advice as to how to begin the process and how to basically make life easier, so that people don't have to go through the same struggles that I went through when I was coming over here and there was no information. Like 5 years ago, there was no information for me to like basically know or to help me to make it an easier transition, and that is what my videos are for. I am not promising nobody said studying over here is going to be easier than studying in Jamaica or studying wherever else. It is not, because every country, every school is disorganized, have them problem, are horrible. Like, all universities, they only want your money, to be frank. They don't care about you. These people don't care about you. The people in this country don't care about you. Like, being an international student is not easy. It is not simple. And we're going to talk about why it's not all roses and sunshine. Like, the main theme of this video that I want you all to remember throughout the entirety of this video, the theme is, all that glitters is not gold. And I'm pretty sure I said that before in some other video, but all that glitters is not gold. In an earlier video that I posted on my channel, I think it was how to be an international student, or what it's like to get something like that, I specifically said you need to be able to adapt. Adaptability is very important for you to be able to like survive and thrive in like a country that you're not used to, because if you're not able to adapt, then you will crumble and you will have mental breakdowns every day. And I still stand by that. So this video is prompted by not only the conversation with my mom, but also the recent occurrence of what has happened in Ukraine and the situation with the Jamaican students that we're trying to get out, and the whole hassle and everything. And the first thing that I want you all to understand with being an international student, I saw lots of tweets like surrounding the whole situation, and people were lighting each other up, and like it was a whole war against international students and people who don't understand what it means to be an international student. And I fall on obviously the international student side, because y'all don't know the half of the issue that we go through. But first of all, I saw lots of people tweeting, even parents, of like several children here tweeting like, oh, nobody never send them over there. It's not the government's responsibility to carry them home. No, why them go so far? What made them go so far? All of a sudden, nobody never send them to go all the way to Ukraine, XYZ. I feel like what a lot of people don't understand, the main reason why people choose to become international students 9 times out of 10 is because they cannot financially afford to study in Jamaica for med school. Like, it's not because them dunce and they couldn't cut it to get into UE. It's not because they wanted to have that lifestyle or that experience to be like, oh, I think it would be cool to learn another language. Sometimes, yes, but 9 times out of 10, that's not why you would choose to leave your country, leave your parents, leave things that you've always known and things that are of comfort to you to go into a completely foreign country where you don't know nobody half the time. You don't know nobody. To go and embark on this new experience and think, it's scary. Like, I don't think I've ever talked about this on my channel, but the night before I came to Cuba, I cried. I was crying in my room. Like, and it's so funny because it was like months before, while I was at NCU, I was crying in my room because I felt like I was wasting my time. I was like, I don't want to do biochem. This degree is very pointless to me. It was supposed to be a means to an end for me. And it felt very pointless. I was like, I feel like I'm wasting my time here. The only thing that the school has given me is my college friends, and that's it. And I feel like our friendship is solid enough that if I leave, we'll still remain to be friends. And I wanted to leave so bad, but I didn't see a way or know the process to leave to be able to come to Cuba, because that was always like the end goal, to like come and study over here to do med. And then I finally got it all, got everything that I wanted and was bawling in my room for. And then the night before I'm supposed to leave, I'm crying in my room in Mobe again. Because where are we going, fam? Like, where are my mom and I going? We don't speak Spanish. A lick of word. C6 Spanish didn't help me. Like, what? I was really bawling like, where the heck are we going? We're going to get lost in the airport. They're going to take us with. All these different things. People don't leave from the comfort of the known and go into the unknown for fun. You do it because you kind of have to. Like, most of the times they do it because there's no better option. That being said, tuition fee at UE, which is the only med school, the only accredited med school in Jamaica right now. I'm using that term loosely because I know there's the one in St. Elizabeth that's like linked to some US school. I'm not sure if it's accurate. Loosely. Anyway, UE is the most known one and most accepted around the world and all of that jazz from Jamaica. Tuition fee from there is $20-something thousand US per year if you don't have the stipend. Who has that? The average Jamaican is not making that or even close to that as like a salary. Like, if we're being realistic, like, to just, especially if you have multiple kids, what if you had like 3 kids and all of them want to turn doctor? How? Like, ask yourself, like, seriously, how? So as opposed to, for example, studying in Cuba, it varies each year, but like your first year of actual med school is $8,500 US for the entire year, so first and second semester. As opposed to studying in the Ukraine, which was like, I think it was like 3,000 US, them said, or 3,000 something for the entire year. Do you see the huge difference, like that huge gap that's there? So most of the times you kind of have to, I'm not sure how much China charges because I didn't go so far with the process in China, but for just to give you examples, a lot of the times when Jamaicans leave, it's because of that. Like, we can't afford it. Apart from that, the whole thing where people were complaining, like, there were different tweets where like some students were saying, you know, they would never work for Jamaican governments, they would never stay in Jamaica, teen brain drain, all of these different things. Like, why would I work for a country that doesn't care about me? And then the people who were like anti-international students were like, then why would you want that same government to come and like save you and come rescue you from this country after you have chosen to go there and you know that you're not going to be contributing back to the country? That's the government's job. Like, I was like, are you dumb? Like, their parents pay taxes. Like, we contribute to society anyways. Like, it's your job as a government to make sure that your citizens, should they need it, in dire need of help, the help can be provided. Like, are y'all? And apart from that, being an international student, if is one thing the pandemic has taught us, and I thought it was just us, it was not just us, it was students all over the world. Being an international student, if is one thing the pandemic teaches, if you're from Jamaica, Jamaica don't care about you. They don't. The government does not care. You are a prop. And I can say this because I'm not a scholarship student. You are a prop. Literally. And I can say this from experience. In the first couple years of when we just started school over here, myself, I'm speaking in the early years before all of this happened. Every couple months we'd get like an email because like they wanted us to like come to the embassy and meet them and just basically get acquainted and thing with our student liaison and basically our representatives. So the ambassador and the student liaison. In the first couple years, we never met the ambassador. We met our student liaison and everything, and he was chill. Big up Mr. Bailey anyway there, right? And after that first encounter, every single time when a politician was coming to this country, we would get an email and they would invite us to the embassy to come and basically meet and bring up any grievances that we may have. And, basically have our voices heard. If there's anything that we need, come and present it and let them know and all of that jazz and thing. We went. Anyway, we went to a couple of them and it would always be a photo op. That's the most important thing. There's somebody there taking pictures. They're talking to us and talking at us and basically telling us how they can't help with. So they're listening to the issues. Yeah, man. Nothing is, they don't help you at all. Like, they invite you there for the photo op. And that's it. And like, it was consistently like that. Alright, I'm gonna say something else because it's not fair to say that and then not shout out the one person that actually like did do good. Shout out to Mr. Pernell Charles Jr. That man is a great man and that man can get my vote because he came one time and like they invited us to the embassy. I didn't go that time because I was like, this is a waste of time. Every single time we've gone, they've asked like, what do we need? We give them the list and thing and nothing ever comes of it there. And then like a week later, or pictures are publicized in like the Gleaner or the Observer, like, oh, this politician went to visit the Jamaican students studying Cuba medicine and thing, how involved they are. Anyway, I didn't go to that meeting, to be honest. Like, myself and none of my friends went that year. And he ended up like taking a list of like things that were needed, or like basically asking like, what do you need? Like, I got you, we'll ship it up. And he went home and didn't actually ship it up. Like, we actually got stuff. Like, I was like, a politician followed through on their word? Oh my God. Like, I was completely shocked. I was so grateful. Like, I think I probably got like 2 things from that package because it's a lot of us. But I mean, thank you for that bun, sir, for that spice bun. Thank you. Like, you were a real one. Because like, even to go to collect them, I'm never gonna, because by right, I didn't go anywhere the first time. But like, thank you for being like that change, or that one person that actually like followed through on their word. Like, you don't get it often. Still on the topic of that, last story. I can recall COVID hit over here, like it arrived in Cuba and the whole place, and basically months further down, basically the whole world has locked down, and it was very hard to get food over here. It was even in the news, it was all of that jazz. It was very hard for us to get food over here, to be honest. A lot of times we ended up ordering food from restaurants in the days. Like, nobody was going to school, we weren't allowed to leave our house. When we leave our house, police outside in the streets being like, go home, or we taking you to jail, like you're not the Wi-Fi park and all of that jazz. Like, we go lockdown, basically. And I remember during that time, like, my mom was very concerned, and obviously all the parents were. So like, they started like to reach out to like the embassy over here and the representatives and their friends in like government in Jamaica and thing. And obviously pressure from there, then pressure the people them over here, and then what's the thing. To reach out to the students, because the students need help. We can't get no food. Parents are concerned about them kids. Well, the same representative that I'm saying that was like the student liaison, that same man, the man emailed us. He basically called a couple of us like individually and asked like how we were, how things are doing and everything, and that they realized that they are aware of the fact that the students are in need and their sympathies and all of that jazz. So everybody know how the situation going on thing. Tell me why this man emailed us a list of restaurants names that do delivery along with their contact number, and that was the assistance for us, as opposed to like all the other countries. Like I lived with Abby. Y'all have seen Abby on my channel at this time. Abby's Angolan. By this time there had been at least 2 packages on planes shipped from Angola and delivered to the Angolans' houses so that they could have food. And when I'm talking big boxes with like sardine, tin stuff, condoms, like all these different stuff, like pads, everything, shipped from Angola to Cuba and then delivered to each of the Angolans' house. And enough Angolan over here, fam. And you're seeing this from like the other governments and thing, and other international students, and seeing what they're getting, and then Jamaica is sending you a list of restaurants that do delivery and their numbers. That's your help. And you're telling me that you know that, and you're mad at students for saying that they wouldn't work in Jamaica after like their team brain train? Are you joking? Y'all don't understand them. You don't know the half of it, and that's the problem. People keep talking out their mouth and you don't know anything. Like you don't know what people have experienced because they don't talk about it. You just give your opinion without information. No one like, yo, that's why it upset me. Like I was reading all that tweets, I was like, y'all don't even know what people be going through over here. Y'all just talking in the comfort of your home with your 3 kids and your 4 kids under your roof. My mom's home fretting because she has food in her house and her child is over here, can't get to come home and hungry. Do you know what that feels like? You're one picnic. Listen, get out of here with that. Like honestly, y'all don't even know, fam. Y'all don't even know. So after this whole rant and thing, I want to talk about the risks that come with being an international student, so that y'all can understand and y'all can know. Being an international student, you subject yourself to basically just mistreatment, if we're being honest. Like, not that anyone is targeting you, or I'm not talking about mental generally. First of all, let me say that I'm speaking generally, because it doesn't just happen here. It happens in all different countries from everybody who I'm talking about. Like, I have a friend who studied in Peru. He was studying engineering, and he talked about it here. Schools, disorganization, everything. You subject yourself to certain treatments. It's not like you're being discriminated against or anything like that. But when I say certain treatment, it's like, a lot of times you kind of have to just swallow your pride with a lot of things. Like you can't really like get up and cuss and fight, and because no one's going to be on your side. Ain't nobody backing you up, especially if you're from Jamaica. The government now back you up, fam. You're on your own. So there are lots of things that you just kind of have to prepare yourself. When I say adaptability and adjusting, it's things that you're not used to or what you're going to experience when you go outside of your country, if we're being honest. I'm trying to think of an example. There are lots of things in Jamaica that don't make sense, but there are lots of things that we're privileged to that we don't even understand. For example, since the pandemic, in Jamaica, in the pandemic, for a brief period, you had to wait in lines to get into the supermarket. Now when I go home and everything, ain't no lines. You go in, either the trolley them go there or the trolley is gone because there's that many amounts of people in the supermarket, but you could still go inside and do whatever. Since the pandemic here, line for Dazia I forgot everywhere. And it was even before the pandemic. There was always a line for, like, for example, like at the bus stop, certain businesses and thing. You always go anywhere. If there's enough people outside, you have to ask Ultimo to see who's the last person in the line. But the supermarket line over here, And it's the type of thing you can't even like go and see what's inside and then decide if you want to join the line. No. You're waiting in the line for hours, and I'm not exaggerating, for hours, just to be able to get in. And then sometimes, it has been a case for me where I've waited in the line for hours, gotten in, and they didn't have what I needed. And I just left. And the line was there with a heap of people because they had beer. I don't drink beer. That's what everybody was waiting in the sun for. Beer. So, legit, they're just... Next thing. Things are different in different countries when you go outside of country. On the topic of treatment, discrimination, it happens. This is not my personal experience, this is not a racist country in my experience. I think a lot of places you go, you will experience microaggression or micro-racism. It's like, it's the little things. So, for example, when the pandemic hit, everybody started showing them true colors. So the pandemic hits, and it wasn't as deep yet in Cuba and thing like, but it was, the news was going around that people are dying from COVID and thing. I think the first couple of cases did like break in this country, and everywhere was still open though. I was going to the gym, and I hopped on the bus as I do every day after school and going to gym, couple stops away, and I was the only international person on the bus. You could tell I'm not from Cuba. Tell me why? The whole of the bus I looked at me. Like, that as you, I could feel everybody looking, and I knew it was because of the whole COVID thing. Like, why everybody I look at me so like, and I was ignoring it, my back was turned, but you know when you feel somebody staring at you? Times that by like 30 or 50 people on a bus, like, that was so uncomfortable. Like, there's other microaggressions that we've experienced over here. If you go in certain communities over here, like the military communities, like we're retired, like diplomats and certain retired military, whatever, there's a military base near there, and you will see that you know where you are because there's like security just standing up, not security, police just standing up on the road and thing. I had a friend who lived in an apartment in one of those areas one time, and I went to go like get something from him, and he was taking too long to come outside. Now the police that come up to me ask me me here, like, why am I in this area? And I'm like, my friend lives here. Like, so why are you just standing up? Oh, is it not, we can't just stand up somewhere, like, fam? There's so many things that we experience, and I get it, like, stuff like that, I was about to say, stuff like that could happen in Jamaica, it could, depending on it, but you can't even, like, you couldn't go on bad or anything like that, because then, jail. You don't want to upset, you're outside of your country, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where it could escalate and be bad because there's no one to come and help you. Your parents aren't here to come bail you out. Your friends are young as well as you, and obviously wouldn't want to get themselves in trouble if we're being honest. Government now come for you. Like, all these things, like you have to conduct yourself differently. Not that you would be going on bad anyway, but like there's all these things, fam. If we're being honest, there's all these things. This the one. I've had people reach out to me and want information about studying in Cuba because they want to study med, or they were doing like a course at UWI that was like, I don't remember what the course was. It wasn't med, but it was like med adjacent. Like the degree that you get after, you do like, I think it's the first 2 years of med, and then, the first 2 years, and then after you start like the clinical. And they're saying that that's not what was explained at the beginning. It's disorganized, like as it relates to your school fee payment, people can't find your records. Like they'll be like, they don't see any payment from you, you didn't pay when you know you paid, and XYZ, and they don't have any record of it, and maybe you don't know where your records are. And you're like, they're disorganized, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know when school ever start, XYZ. It's not just UWI. It's not just NCU. It's not just, it's everywhere. Because believe me, I've experienced all those things before as well. It is everywhere because there is no place more disorganized, in my opinion, of all that I've experienced than over here. And because of that, and I've experienced it the most in the past couple months. People always take pictures of your documents. as an international student, as a student overall, always take pictures of your documents and documents that you received from the school, especially if you're a student over here, because they will tell you that they've never seen it before. Them don't know where you talk about, them not have no documents. It's not in their records because they're disorganized. And so it never happened. So you need to make sure that you have all your documents. Like, my mom been drilling it in me since like the last couple months of everything that's been going on. Make sure that you create a folder and save all of your payments from school fees and everything. And make sure you always go and get your grades for the semester. Always go collect your transcript if they will give it to you, especially if you're an international student. If it's one thing Ukrainian students like ended up teaching us, because they did years and then see it gone, there's nothing to show for all that their work that they did. And to be fair, their school didn't want to give it to them, and now the school blew up. There's no record that they've been in school for years, so no school can go take them. Always go collect your grades. If they will give it to you, go collect it, because you never know if you need to cut, and then you might need to pick up your life somewhere else. Like, that's definitely something that has taught me. All of this has taught me this year. Always go collect them and thing. Always create a file. A lot of people have had stories where it's been like them finish school and then the university won't come tell them, say, we don't have a record of like 5 payments. You need to make sure that you pay off those 5 payments before you can graduate. Evil smile. The people want money. That's plain and simple. That's what it is. They want money. They do. All the money don't go back into the school. People are corrupt. I'm not talking over here. Don't come for me. I'm not talking about over here. I don't know anything, okay? Don't come for me. But these are things that are common occurrences, so always keep your records so that you can present them and say, here is the date. Here is who signed for this to confirm that I did my payment. Here is this document. Here's my copy. Fix your thing, because I'm not paying nothing because I paid. The final couple risks that I want to talk about, I've already talked about it, some of them. Scarcity of food. That's a very real thing over here, if we're being honest. Like, I'm not even going to hold you. I'm not going to tell you a lie. Scarcity of food is a thing over here. I want to insert a picture of something to let y'all know, like, this is how bad it is. I sent to my mom the other day, but I'm not going to do, I'm not going to scan with people in business. But basically, it's very common that sometimes you can't find certain foods over here. Certain things that are like basic at home in Jamaica and like with other people and things in other countries, it's very common that you can't find it over here. So scarcity of food as an international student. Becoming a target for criminals. If y'all have watched my video a couple weeks back, I'm gonna link it somewhere here. People see international students, especially over here, and they see dollar signs. They see money. Oh, here's this person that has an iPhone and is just walking around with it in her uniform pocket. You know? Even she don't need it. She doesn't need to call her mom. She doesn't need to call people. That's my meal ticket right there. You're a target for criminals. Let's talk about those trifling land people. Listen. Especially if you're in a developing country, like, the people them take you as them savior. Like, I'm being dead serious with you. They see you, they don't know your situation, but you can afford to like do like other general like things like that. All right, man. And you can help me. Like, it's your duty in life to help me. I don't know nothing about your mother struggle at home or anything or how much our chef work. That not nothing to do with me. But you have money, you have US. Help me now. Like, why would you not help me? That's a very real thing over here. Entitlement. I'm being honest, they will see you and see just certain things, or just the idea that you're an international person, or somebody who lives outside of said developing country, and it's like, oh, you're my ticket out. You're my way out of here. Like, how could you help me? And I'm not saying that to say like it's everybody, because I have good people that I know over here who are natives of this country, and anything when we need, we can always like reach out to them and they'll help me. And it's vice versa. If I can, I will, because I want to. Like, depending. But like, literally, random strangers will literally try to integrate you into their life. They will use you. You have to be so careful as international students. Like, there's a lot of risks to things over here. I think that's why, personally, I don't date nobody one day. I don't date nobody in this country, period. But not date nobody that's like a native over here, because it's been a common thing. People who are natives over here have looked at me and said, don't date no niggas over here. Don't date no boys over here. Well, who born here? They looking for a way out. You're the way out. Just saying. Some guys that I know that are like Jamaicans, and they've dated like the girls like that have been born here and anything, and it hasn't really been that common. But that's a thing here. Like, trifling land people. I have friends who have moved so many times, and it's just because people will really try to use you. They will milk you for all you are worth. Land people? Listen, that needs to be a separate video by itself. Even me, I am an excellent tenant. I always pay rent on time. I keep the place clean. I don't destroy a place. Like, I've never been charged after leaving somewhere for like, you know, like a security deposit. Like if you damage a place, they go charge you. That's never happened to me. I treat people place good. I always pay rent on time. That's good. But there was like a good couple months where like I was being taken advantage of, in the sense where I was paying US and the exchange rates, the agreed upon thing for my house was that it was 300 cook. And after a point, she was like, she preferred the US, and it wasn't a problem because, I mean, at that point, I used to have to go and change the US into cook, and it was a little bit devalued, but then things shifted economically. And now, me paying her in US, she was getting more than the agreed upon rent for when, like, I was supposed to, one that we agreed upon when I first came in, you know? Even though my housemate was paying in cook. So basically, I was overpaying for months. When it finally came time for me to leave, these people, like, they will switch up on you. They don't care about you. They will switch up on you. This woman, fam, I asked her one question because I couldn't remember, like, what I had said to her before I went home. And I didn't have anything written down anywhere that said, like, oh, I said I was going to pay this XYZ. I was like, no one, look at you, beer, I still don't need shit. And they were always, like, so nice, so everything so accommodating and everything. Complete switch. People are trifling, okay? And that's one thing you're going to learn as an international student. And the worst thing is that most of the times you're dealing with it by yourself, because your parents are in a completely other country. They can't help you, and here you are having to adult by yourself with trifling ass people who don't mean you well, who wanted to use you, and were always like so pleasant and nice when you had it to give them. And it wasn't even that I didn't have it to give her. I asked you one question, and there are people that one stood there and was like, ¿Qué pasó? No tienes el dinero? Which basically is like, yo, what happened? You don't have the money? As if she gave me money for... Listen. And after all of that excitement and everything that she went through, when she finally gave me the answer, that was like, yeah, that's it, I'm done, bitch. Like, I am leaving from before. I was supposed to stay like, I was going to pay per day to stay like a little bit later until I found a place that I could find that was comfortable for me and was up to my standards. Fam, I wasn't supposed to move before exam. I was like, this is not it. After I paid her the money, she switched back to the, oh, do you need anything? Do you need chicken? Let us know if you need chicken. We'll find chicken for you. Okay. Then I called my mom and I was like, Mommy, I'm not staying here till after exam. I'm leaving now. Like, I'm going to start looking for places, because if I ever tell you what this woman and listen, the entitlement that these people feel, as if they gave you money, because apparently your life and your parents' life is easier in the country that you're from than the life they live here. They don't know nothing about you because they didn't bother to ask anything about you. But they can pay the rent every month and things. So life must smooth for you, man. Fam. And that's the story of how God gave me my dream apartment. Y'all remember that apartment? Everything just fell right into place for that. Like, I was so happy to leave that woman. These people, fam, people will show you one side of them for years. And then the minute they feel like, the minute they're not benefiting from you anymore, complete night and day 180. Complete night and day 180. Like, fam, land people will give you a story for days over here. Like, y'all want to see some of the apartments? These people quoting for how much US dollars? If y'all ever see the audacity these people have, like, you go and look at a place and they're like, oh yeah man, 300 euros. You know how much for euros in Jamaica? Like, for this, bro, you have one window. Like, the audacity that these people have, if it's one thing them are gonna have, is the audacity. And it sucks. Don't let people take advantage of you. I've had friends who've lived over here and they've gotten robbed either by them land people, by them clean people, like them go in and go find like the cash that they have and they stole it. And you went to the police to report it, nothing comes of it. As an international student, if something happens to you, you just have to take that L because they're not fight for you. Like the police is not doing a damn thing for you. We're at risk for all of these things. Please be careful to my fellow international students. My camera is about to die. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. If this is your first video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button. Give this a thumbs up. If any other international students are watching this, please share your stories down below so people can understand that the life of an international student is not easy. Pray for international students. Bye.